at 7 o'clock. Good. I'm done.
Terrific.
And the first order of business, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Bob because I'm on some pain meds and I don't want to like zone out in the middle of the meeting. So Bob, just tell me when you want me to.
We got everybody live.
Yeah, tell me what screen you want.
All right, we need the warrant screen.
Can you see that?
Yeah,
Yep.
there we are, right there.
Perfect.
We have a total warrant of $160,480.14. Right, that Socotech, is it, Steve?
Socotech is the new company that bought CBI. CBI was the design firm for the police station.
Mm-hmm.
So this is their final bill of $4,900.
All right, and then the second one is Johnson and Roberts for $11,076.96.
And that's for the library.
Library, and then $5,859.20 is Johnson and Roberts.
That's for the library. Yep.
KRN Contractors, is that
They're the solar installer for the library.
that's $30,400. And another one from KRN Contractors for $100,930.85. Then we have another one for $6,912 from KRN Contractors. And then Lowell Sun Publishing, and that's for advertisement for the school, was it, Steve?
Yeah, the high school roof.
Roof. And that's for $498 for a total of $160,480.14.
Could I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Is that solar panels work complete and installed?
Hasn't even started yet.
Well, why are we paying them 100% when it's not started?
Well, we're not. We're just issuing the checks and we're going to hold them until they're complete because of the requirements of the funding grant.
The fiscal year, okay. Got it. Thank you.
Bartlett, if I may, I worked with the town accounting as well as the state grant program, and the option that we came up with was the first KRN contractor invoice you see there for $30,000 is for work that's been performed to date.
Yep.
That would be the purchasing and releasing of the submittals that we've done.
Okay.
The remaining two invoices, one's for the remainder of the work, including the labor, and
Yep.
the third is the retainage. So
Right.
we work with the accounting is to hold the remaining two checks, issue one when the work is complete, and then we'll do a full audit with the engineers of records to make sure we can release the retainage.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Brian.
you.
Need a motion?
Make a motion to approve the warrant as read.
Second.
Steve Moore, second.
Roll call. Steve?
Steve Moore, yes.
Bartlett Harvey?
Bartlett Harvey, yes.
Brian Pasquale?
Brian Pasquale, yes.
Who else we have in here?
Rich.
Rich?
Yeah, Rich Crowley is a yes too.
And Bob Romley's a yes. Motion passes. Next on the agenda is meetings from June 8th, 2022. Anybody get a chance to read them?
I think I did.
They went out a while ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I had no comments.
Anybody have any comments on them?
No, move to approve.
Steve Moore, second.
All in favor, Rich Crowley,
Rich Crowley is a yes.
Steve Moore,
Yes.
Bartlett Harvey,
Bartlett Harvey's a yes.
Brian Pasquale,
Brian Pasquale is a yes.
and Bob Romley, yes. Steve, do you have anything on the Shake Lane feasibility study?
The only thing that I have is that Rich is working on a
RFS. Yeah.
RFQ for the OPM.
Rich, anything on it?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got all the information from the MSBA. They have a unique, well, they like to be in control of everything. So they've got their own RFS document along with a list of attachments that you have to do with them. They want to be they want to prove the RFS before it goes out. They want to prove the ad before it goes out. So they want really 100% input. So I'll have this document done before the week's out, and I'll send it off to Steve, and through Steve, I guess we'll send it off to the MSBA. Now, the town has to have a designated town employee to manage the paperwork, and that would be Steve Marks. So I'll funnel this stuff through him once I get it drafted.
Actually, the select board met and appointed the committee for this project.
Oh, okay. So is there going to be a point person from the town, or will I assumed it was going to be Steve, but if it's a different person.
Well, there's a number of people from school committee, select board, and then Pmbc needs to appoint 3 people. And I thought that might be, and we need to vote on that tonight. I thought that could be Brian, Rich, and somebody else.
Sure, I'd be glad to participate in whatever way I can.
Brian, would you be available?
I don't have a problem doing it. I'm curious how involved. I've never been through that process before in a school. I don't know how involved I need to be and how much the time commitment is.
It's kind of like what we went through on the police station. You have to do the review of the proposals and rank them.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about an appointment for the project all the way through the project. But yes, for just reviewing the proposals, I can do that for sure.
Okay.
Well, Steve, isn't that the school building committee that the town has to appoint a school building committee, and that's I presume what the selectmen did the other night, didn't it?
That's what they did, and they tasked us with coming up with 3 people from our committee.
Yeah.
To be on that team.
So Brian, you would be a part of the school building committee, which would last the duration of the project. But your involvement is similar to this. It's just a matter of saying yes or no once we're out the gate. You can be as involved as you want or as little as you want. You'll probably need to put in some time when it comes to selecting the OPM and selecting the CM at risk if hopefully they'll allow us to go CM at risk.
Right.
Then the rest is just to enjoy the ride.
Yeah. I don't have a problem doing that with the caveat that I already feel a little overextended with kids sports and day job and all that.
Goodness.
So
Yeah.
I don't have a problem if there's no other volunteers taking it on and tackling it. I just don't know how much time I'm going to be able to dedicate to it. I'll throw that out there.
Yeah, it's there'll be weekly job meetings that none of us have to participate in. It's only the school.
Yeah.
It's only the appointed person that needs to be, and the OPM that needs to. And that's really it, because the OPM will report to our committee every month with budget and so forth, and progress, and along with the CM if we're allowed to go that. So it's when I say you can put in as much time as you want, it's a great experience because you're going to help put together what the Shaker Lane school is going to look like. Mm-hmm. And you've got kids, so you'll be a real asset to the
So,
program.
You know, this is just a feasibility study. So, you know, the level of effort is,
Yeah, I don't mind.
It's even
I don't
less,
mind.
yeah.
Rich sold me, so count me in.
okay, so
My last two.
Bob,
my
I
last
guess,
two
I guess
had,
we need a motion to appoint the board from
Steve,
the,
I'm wondering if Mike might want to do it too. He's not here to say, but.
yeah,
Oh,
Mike,
he's the right person to nominate then.
Mike, I was going to say as well, Mike has younger kids than I. My last two just walked off from Shaker Lane yesterday, so I thought I was done with Shaker Lane, but now I'm back.
great. Well, I guess we need to vote on 3 tonight, and if Mike can be a part of that, that'd be great, but this is just the feasibility study, so it's, you know, it's just the first step.
Well, we have 2 right now. We need a third.
So I guess I'll be the third.
Mike did say he was going to sign on, but be a few minutes late, so I don't know if you want to
Yes.
postpone
Okay.
that until you can
So-
second.
Absent Mike's volunteering, I'll step in, but if he wants to volunteer, I'll, you know, certainly step aside.
Sure thing.
All right, so we need a motion then for the 3 of you.
I believe, yeah. So I'll make a motion that Rich Crowley, okay, the meds are kicking in. Ryan and myself are on that.
Rich Crowley, Brian Pasquale, and Steve Moore to the board.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Second
Yeah.
that.
All right, vote Steve Moore,
Yes.
Rich Crowley,
It's a yes as well.
Bartlett Harvey,
Bartlett Harvey, yes.
Brian Pasquale,
Brian Pasquale, yes.
and Bob Rumley, yes. Okay, library update. Solar panels, final closeout costs. Brian Force?
Yeah, thank you, Bob, and thanks for having me. Had a decent meeting with the library trustees, Mark Rambacher at the library last week. We went over some of the warranty issues that the library's having. Also went through kind of our process on how we're going to handle warranty issues and some things that we feel as though still aren't working and what we thought we paid for. In addition to other lingering items is energy consumption. We've had some parameters, and the BMS settings were tweaked in order to save on some energy. However, we still think that they're still higher than the designed consumption rates. So Mark and the library had a meeting with LELD to go over some practices that we can use. I'm also working with the engineers of record to really put a bow on this and figure this out before our warranty period is expired. Regarding our solar panels, as you saw, we've kind of done a unique payment situation where we'll be holding the checks, but having them cut in order to satisfy the grant program. So I'll be working with Mark, who also applied for that grant, to make sure that we can get reimbursement on that. And who knows how quickly that gets turned around, but maybe the reimbursement happens as the solar panels are going on. Right now, due to some material delays, we've got solar panels are due to be on site at the beginning of September. I was told it's less than a week installation process, and then we'd be generating power. As for closeout, we are final closed out with the contractor. We do have a warranty list. We've been reaching out to subcontractors directly for issues that have been happening. We're also working with the site contractor regarding some of their miscellaneous minor items regarding some of the grass wasn't growing in sufficiently, as well as some of their erosion controls out back. So that's our library update.
Brian, the hill where the tennis court is, it
Yeah.
looks like nothing but dirt there. It doesn't look like that was ever hydroseeded or sprayed with anything.
Yeah, it's good. It's got a mat on it now, and Cataldo came back out and resprayed the right side of the library building, and then also resprayed where the sledding hill was. I've yet to get an actual confirmation if they did some respraying on the tennis courts hill, but I agree with you. It looks like a a burlap mat was just laid on there with not much germination that's happening in there.
I was there yesterday and it looks like
Okay.
just dry dirt.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know, I was there, sometime last week. I spoke to, the library director, and he said, I don't know if he said that Cataldo didn't spray that, or he didn't know if there was any need to spray it because we're going to dig it all up for the senior center.
I'll find out though. I mean, if we're not scheduled to be putting a shovel in the ground until later of next year, you know, there shouldn't be a reason for there just to be a dirt pile right there. So
Yeah, I agree.
even for a matter of dust control.
That's erosion too.
Right.
yeah.
I think Mark is in here.
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know if they sprayed the tennis court side or not. I know they sprayed the rest.
Yeah.
Or the library hills, both sides.
We also have some other minor things that we're doing as kind of some requests that are outside of the contract with the contractor that we're working with vendors to get that done, inclusive of some additional access control down on the lower level and some hardware changes. So just some minor updates on that, but hopefully we'll have solar panels in by end of the summer and into the fall. And you'll have a working system with that.
All right. Police station. Brian.
Police station with the Socotec invoice on the warrant. I believe that is our last payment that we have to do on the police station. The only thing that I have, I would consider the project completely closed out. The only thing is that the chief reached out to me regarding the bird mitigation we did and the overhang. I know that you, Bob, and Steve went out there to take a quick look at it. I did send you guys the proposed original solution of some of the spiky material that would go up in that area. With the project not financially closed out, but we did have extra money in there. Is it something that it'd be worth asking someone local to come in to do some installation of that spiky material?
There's a plate right in the middle where they had something up there to, I don't know, it was a vibration or a whistling noise or something.
Yeah.
And behind that plate, it looks like the birds have got up in behind the beam again. And most of I think what the chief is talking about though is that the birds are getting on that white ledge there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a mess there from what the birds are doing. And
Right. Okay.
I think that might be more what he's talking about.
Okay.
But it's only where the plate attaches to the building. The birds seem to be climbing up on that plate, chipping away at the insulation, and then getting above the insulation and crapping down on the beam.
And the insulation is what was installed by the waterproofing company, correct?
Yeah.
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 It looks like they foamed it, Brian, and then cut the foam, or either that or they stuffed something up there. But the beam looks like it's closed off between the beam itself and the brick, all except for that one spot where the plate is. And like Steve said, it looks like the birds are getting up in behind the plate, but they're still landing on that ledge and making a mess.
So
could reach out.
we thought we would get George to go out and take the plate off because it seems to be a climbing point,
Right.
and maybe to put some foam up in there and see if that mitigates it.
If we want to try that, and if not, then I think the next step, I can get a quote for that kind of steel spike system that maybe we can adhere to the underside of that to deter any other birds getting up underneath there.
So it's at a very localized area, about 6 inches.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Steve, can I make a suggestion?
Yep.
That it's a gap that the birds are getting into. That's about 3 or 4 inches wide, right? Between where the beam parallels the building.
No, that was all filled in, Rich, with foam.
But are they getting into that foam?
They're getting into the foam by climbing up on this plate that held a sound vibrator thing like
Okay.
Bob was talking about.
My suggestion was going to be to use
if we take that
rain and
plate
water
off
shield.
and just put some spray insulation up there, that might help.
Well, I was going to suggest ethiothane. That's the very sticky water shield stuff. The birds can't get through that stuff, and it'll stick to just about anything.
Yeah,
So if you cut,
that'll just stick to their wings and they'll fall down dead on the ground.
Be like the old fly paper.
all right, never mind.
Never mind.
All
But let
right,
me know if you need anything with, reaching out to George and seeing if he can help, doing a little work to see if that works.
All right. High school roof, Brian?
Yep. Not a whole lot new to report other than Russo Bar is still working on their drawings. I've been told they're pretty much substantially complete with the exception of wrapping up some of the snow melt details. And I was in touch with Rich earlier today. They're looking to have a snow melt vendor come out and take a look at the roof this week. We're trying to set that up for maybe Friday morning. I'm yet to hear back from Steve Mark, but I'm hoping we can set that up for myself, Rich, and Steve to meet with Russo Bar's PM and the snow melt vendor on Friday morning.
All right, Steve is on vacation, Brian.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah, in places where no cell phone or anything, so just to let you know.
All right. Well, in that case, I guess, Rich and I could do it in his place because I know that the vendor was going to be out next week, but we would just need to somehow get access to the high school.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Friday morning, this time of June, is school still in session?
No,
Ended
but there's still
yesterday,
plenty of people there.
today.
Yeah, if there's people there, we can get up and, find our way up to the roof.
Well, you
So-
might want to, at least clear that with the school superintendent since Steve's out.
Okay. I can,
All right.
I can send an email and Rich will plan. I saw your last note. I think we'll plan on 9:00. Does that work?
That'll work perfect for me. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Brian, did you see Bartlett's comments at the last meeting about they're going to be redoing the floors and stuff in the school if they have to gain access during the summer months?
I did not. No. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. The roofer, let's see, it's a back set of stairways that they go up that leads you to the ship ladder that takes you to that section of roof. It's out of the way of the main corridors if they're going to be stripping and recoating the main corridors. We can work around that.
Yeah.
The roofers can work around that.
Yeah, but the roofers typically go up ladders from the outside, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they would, except that this has it's got like a 10-foot tall parapet.
Oh,
They
yeah.
Have to have they could do that. They could very easily up and down on the inside because they got ladders. So that can be managed.
They'll
Yeah,
work around
sure we
it.
can coordinate the logistics, but
Yeah.
that's
Exactly.
good to know. Thank you.
Senior Center, Brian.
Senior Center update. Currently, we have a meeting tomorrow with town council as well as the town administrator that was set up yesterday. I'd want to know, I know that, Steve, you've had a couple conversations with Anthony regarding the oversight and the monitoring of the project. If anyone needs that invitation, I think this goes for you as well, Mark. If anybody wants to be a part of that, the discussions with that, to provide an update with the designer on the design development and their upcoming schedule and milestones, to provide an update on the CM at risk application, which has been submitted to the Inspector General's office. Big thank you to Diane Crory and everyone else at the town, providing the minutes that were needed, as well as the authority from town council. There was quite a bit of documents that needed to go into that. So that was finished and submitted. And then the update from town council is to provide the rezoning and land swapping that's happening with the property next door. Tom Harrington from town council is going to let us know what next steps need to happen, because ultimately that's going to affect the location of the footprint of the building. So those are the updates we have for that. Once that meeting's complete, the intention is to probably have bi-weekly meetings, providing updates and kind of driving the designer to the schedule that we need.
Ryan, did they pass papers on that property?
So from what I was told from town council was just a quick saying we're close to closing. So I don't really know anything more than that. I'm hoping to get more information tomorrow at 2:00, I believe it is.
Another question, once they pass papers and do their land exchange and stuff like that, is that going to affect the use of the tennis courts now?
I don't believe so. No, because the property where the senior center is going to be located will always be right on top of that. That's not changing. That property is always going to be the town's.
Yeah, I didn't know whether the trees along the back edge of the tennis court they're going to end up having to take those down.
Yeah, just giving a rough idea of what that swap is without giving too specific. The land would expand on the neighbor's property out back. So not too close to where the tennis courts currently are located.
Going to square the lot off.
Right.
Yeah, so Bob, that doesn't affect your pickleball.
No, it's not my pickleball, it's Donna's. Member input, Steve,
I'm good.
Rich,
I'm good too. Yeah, thank you.
Bartlett,
I'm all set, thanks.
Brian,
All set. Thanks, Bob.
and I'm all set too.
Okay,
Oh.
so just to clarify, the next scheduled meeting is July 13th, since I didn't put the date on the agenda for the next meeting.
Okay.
Bob,
I don't-
did you want to see if Mark wanted to be on the school building committee?
I don't know what.
Mark? Was it Mark?
Oh, Mike. Wasn't
Oh,
Mike?
Mike, did he eventually
He
join
hasn't-
us?
No, he hasn't joined us.
Never joined.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Steve, do you know whether they've extended the Zoom?
No, I spoke to Diane Crowry Tuesday about that. I was up in town hall. It looks as if they may extend virtual meetings through December of 2023, but it's not final.
Not etched in
It's,
stone.
yeah, it's in conference committee. There's, both the House and Senate have passed the bills, but they're different from each other. So they gotta just work out the differences.
So but the next meeting will be virtual.
All right. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Steve Moore,
Approved, yes.
Violet Harvey,
Bartlett, yes.
Brian Pasquale,
Brian Pasquale, yes.
Rich Crowley,
Rich Crowley's yes too.
and Bob Romley, yes.
Thank you, guys.